God bless you and welcome to the channel. If you're new here, please click that subscribe button. In today's video, we're going to be using the lubricity tester that was sent to me a few years ago from Bestline to do tests with. It's an absolutely awesome machine. If you don't know what it is, I'll break it down real quick. This metal piece here spins around and it rides up against this piece, and the film strength of the oil is what separates the two. The worse the film strength, the bigger the scar mark will be on the bearing. But as you see, there's no bearing mark right now. It's just perfectly smooth. And we're going to be adding some cheap Super Tech to it. Now, I've used this stuff in turbo builds, and when I'm just don't have enough money, I just use this stuff. It works really good, surprisingly. But it's like $4.50 a quart, so that's what we're going with. Then we're going to add Bestline, this is the original Bestline. They have a different label. And Brahman Lube is the same exact company with another different label. Even the bottles are the same, the fluid inside's the same, but I'm gonna show that here to show you if it works and can it improve cheap oil. We're also gonna be using the fake Bestline. It's called Bestline Racing. It is not the same stuff. They imitated the best. This is the best, and this is an imitation. This has ZDDP, this has no ZDDP. So there's no zinc additive in this. This stuff is better for your engine, for your catalytic converters, and the environment and all that stuff. So this stuff's a lot better. But we're gonna prove that right now. We have some note cards here. Plain oil with Bestline Racing, which is this stuff. Plain oil plus Brahman Lube, and just Brahman Lube. Plain oil plus real Bestline, and just the real Bestline. And we're gonna measure the marks. There's no fakery, no trickery going on, but I'm gonna go ahead and put some oil in here. This thing's already prepared and ready to go. We're gonna see how much torque we can get. So this should go up to, I'm guessing about 30, maybe 20 foot-pounds, but we'll see exactly what it does. And then we will show the wear mark, and I will put it down. I will measure it and write how many foot-pounds of torque that it went to. And then we will add the Bestline Racing additive here into it, and we will do it again. See what the foot-pounds go to, and whether the wear mark's big or not, we'll be measuring all of it and writing it down. So I'm gonna go ahead and get this on the tripod and pour the oil in here and get this test rolling. I hope you guys enjoy the video, and there will be a link in the description for all of this stuff if you guys wanna check it out, and a discount code to save you money. So I'm gonna go ahead and get to it. If you're new here, please hit that subscribe button. All right, so we're gonna go ahead and pour this in. And if we overfill this thing, it just leaks out the bottom. So I'm not measuring, I'm just filling it up. We're gonna go ahead and turn it on, let it circulate, and see what kind of torque we have here. Looks like 40 pounds. And this is the wear mark. Let me switch to my phone real quick for you. And here it is up close with just the regular oil. You can see that mark on there. We're gonna go ahead and measure that real quick just to see what we've got here. Go ahead, zero that out. And that is 4.9 to 5.0 millimeters. Just double check, just to be sure. Yep. So, 5 millimeter wear mark, 4.9. It's literally like right on the line there. This isn't super accurate, but it's close enough. So, that is gonna be our control. So now we're gonna go ahead, clean this up a little bit. So now I'm gonna go ahead and take this bearing out of here. We're gonna clean this off, just like that. And then we're gonna set this over with the plain oil control bearing. And then we're going to add in a new fresh bearing. I'm gonna go ahead and dump this oil and put in some fresh plain oil, and then put in the Bestline treatment. Now I'm cleaning this with brake parts cleaner. I'm using sandpaper to make the surface new. Now I'm going to add some more oil to it. And then we're going to add some of this. So as you can see, it's never been opened. I'm going to go ahead and open it real quick. Here. All right, as you can see, just opened it. I'm going to go ahead and pour that in. Just get it nice and covered. We're going to be as fair with this test as possible. Show you real quick up close. As you can see, no wear mark on here. Got it all mixed in there. And as I said, it leaks out when it's overfilled, so it's got plenty in there. This is the oil and the Bestline Racing additive added to it. We're gonna go ahead and turn it on and get started. Alright, so that stopped at 80 foot-pounds on here. I'm going to go ahead and check out the mark real quick. Okay, switching back to the phone. This is the mark that we have with the Bestline and oil mixture. So we're going to go ahead and see what that is. Okay, zeroed out. Got it zeroed out. We're going to go ahead and measure here. It's hard to do this all by myself. And it is at 4.8. Wow. So it didn't change much. Yep, just double checking. 4.8. So it's at 4.8. It helped a little bit. All right, we're gonna go ahead and try just the Bestline Racing additive by itself on here. We've got it all cleaned up. I'm gonna go ahead and show you. Has a fresh bearing on there. It's cleaned up. Everything's ready to go. So I'm gonna go ahead, pour this in there. Making sure to get plenty on there. Start it up. Here, get the camera. We're gonna go ahead and move in so you can see a little bit closer. Go ahead and get this in focus here. Measure from tip to tip. 3.2 millimeters. So the oil by itself, 5.0 millimeters. The racing additive, Bestline Racing additive plus oil, 4.8 millimeters, and then just that by itself in there, 3.2 millimeters. So it definitely does provide some protection, but I don't like that there's ZDDP in it. So let's move on. Okay, I'm gonna go ahead and start it up and we're gonna see what it does. Well, it didn't want to stop, which means it definitely had wear protection. We're gonna go ahead and switch to my phone, which has better quality here. As you can see, switching now, and you can see such a tiny mark. Yep. 2.1 millimeter. Whoa, such a difference. Huge difference. So, we're gonna go ahead and do another test. And it's going to be just the Bestline by itself. And put a new bearing in. Now we're going to add just the Bestline by itself. Move this back over here. Turn it on. Alright, couldn't get it to stop. Turn it off. Bring it back over here. Switching to my phone. And here is that tiny little polish mark. Thing is super tiny. So, go ahead and zero it out. And we're going to see exactly how small this mark is. Hard while looking through the phone. So that's as close as I can get it with looking through the phone. Let me make sure. Yep. So 2.6 millimeter with just the Brahman lube. Pretty impressive, and I think it went up to like 100 and let's see, where's this at? 120. I'll definitely review the footage to be sure, but it was pretty close to the top of this, which is 150. So this was way over here. So 110, 120 roughly. Pretty impressive stuff. Now we're gonna go ahead, clean this up, and do it with just the Brahman lube. So now we're gonna go ahead, take this little tiny polish mark one, and set it over there with the real Bestline. Then we're going to do a fresh bearing. All right, putting the Brahman lube in. And start it. Move this back out of the way. And try to get this up here right. All right, I'm gonna go ahead, move to my phone to show you this. And go. Here it is. Another tiny polish mark. Crazy. Go ahead and measure. You can see that? .9 millimeter polish mark. Crazy. This stuff works so good. Now imagine that's your engine operating, metal to metal contact, piston ring, cylinders, all that stuff, rod bearings. It's not going to do much wear with this stuff. if you didn't have this stuff, there's a lot of wear occurring. If you didn't see that first one with just plain oil, it's a pretty big size wear mark. I mean, I've seen worse, but it's definitely pretty big. So you can tell that this stuff added to the cheap SuperTech gives you good protection. So we're gonna go ahead and do one more. We're gonna go ahead and use the AMSOIL. This is the full synthetic signature series 5W30. Real quick, I just wanted to say a huge thank you goes to Watson Synthetic for providing the AMSOIL for this video. God bless you, man. And we're gonna see what this does by itself and compare that wear mark with the SuperTech. For people who say AMSOIL is better than SuperTech, well, we're gonna find out which one does good with this lubricity tester. So we're gonna go ahead, clean this up like we have all the other ones, and then we'll go from there. Hope you guys are enjoying this video. All right, so the battery was dying. I had to change it out real quick, but got a new bearing in it, cleaned this up. Everything's good to go. I'm gonna be pouring in this. It's fresh, just opened it. This is the AMSOIL Signature Series. It's pretty expensive compared to the cheap SuperTech. So we're gonna see how it does against the SuperTech in wear marks. Here we go. All right. Go ahead, switch to camera phone view. And here we are. So this is the AMSOIL synthetic signature series. We're gonna go ahead and zero this out. Measure that wear mark real quick here. Wow. And it is at 4.3, 4.4 roughly. So I'll show you that again. 4.3, 4.4, right on the edge there. So, pretty interesting to see the AMSOIL just by itself. Not too bad. Okay, so there it is with those results. Just the AMSOIL by itself, 4.3 to 4.4. It was fluctuating back and forth. Plain SuperTech by itself, 5mm wear mark. Plain oil plus the Bestline Racing stuff, 4.8mm wear mark. So it didn't improve a lot, but it did improve. And then we've got plain oil plus Brahman Lube, 4.0mm. And just the Brahman Lube, 1.9mm, such a tiny little mark. Plain oil plus the real Bestline, 3.7mm mark. And just the real Bestline, 2.6. So these results are not an absolute perfect science. It's to get you in the ballpark and understand that it does make a difference. This number here, I could have measured it just a little bit wrong while it was in there. I did go ahead and remeasure some of these when they were out, and they still came out to somewhat the right specs that I put on here, but this one was actually just a little bit closer. Let me show you that real quick, how well you can see that. But it comes out to 2.2mm, not 2.6. So it is pretty close to the 1.9mm, just the real Bestline, just the real Brahman Lube. These are the same contents inside, just a different bottle and a different label. So just wanted to point that out. But yeah, there it is for the results. You do with this information as you will. I will be using these products, really good stuff, and this SuperTech really not bad if you add it with that, because as you can see, we've got Brahman Lube plus the SuperTech, which is better than the SuperTech at 5.0. This is at 4.0, so it's less of a wear mark, so it means it's protecting your engine more. If you put a bigger ratio, these numbers get smaller, so instead of 4.0, it'd be more. So this says to use 10% to 15% by volume. So on this 4-cylinder here, I put in 4 quarts of just normal oil and 4.5 quarts of normal oil. And then this is 16 ounces, so this is a half quart. This half quart will go all the way in there, and it's perfect. And if we use this at every single oil change, it only improves the engine life that much longer. So I hope this video is informative, lets you guys know that they do have machines that you can test oil if you want to get one. I'll try to link one in the description. They're not cheap by any means, and they work really well. Bestline also has gas conditioner, which I have used before. It works really good, but I did it wrong. You're only supposed to use 2 ounces of this to 10 gallons. I poured the whole thing in, and it worked fantastic, by the way, but I don't recommend doing that. And it does have the MLT technology, the micro lubrication technology that the Bestline oil has. It also has that in their fuel. Every product they have has that in it. And they have Powertrain for transmissions and diffs and stuff like that. Really, really, really good stuff. I'm not just trying to sell you guys this product. I was using this stuff before they sponsored, and I absolutely love this product. The product does sell itself, so don't take my word for it. You can even ask Eddie. He is definitely sold on it.
Yeah, I'm using it in 3 of my cars.
Yeah, he has it in 3 of them.
My Z, our Honda, and the Integra.
So he's got this stuff right here in all 3 of them. And he noticed a difference. I'll let him speak on his own.
Yeah, quite immediately with the Z. You know, what is the company? Motul, the Nissan oil? That's what I use on that one. But when I came over here, we poured it in there. Almost instantly, it felt like a completely different car.
Yeah.
It felt a lot smoother, a lot more responsive. And when I noticed, when I put it in my Integra, it like cleaned it when I first put it in there, because I was priming it to get the oil out into my oil line. I noticed it was pushing out dirty, debris that was left out from the engine, of course. And after it stopped pushing out, that's when I left it alone. But it pushed out, whatever was in there that's not supposed to be in there.
What's really interesting about that is if you read the back of this, it actually says the initial oil change may appear extra dirty due to the cleaning of carbon and sludge deposits. So what you're saying lines up with what's written on the back of these. And just so you guys know, I did not give him any of these, no test samples.
I actually bought them straight through Brahman Lube.
Awesome. So I'll have that stuff linked in the description with a discount code if you guys want to save yourself some money on this. This stuff is not no cheap snake oil type stuff. This is the real deal, and this is what I choose to run in my vehicles, so that way they perform well on the dyno. This engine has over 220,000 miles, and the inside of this engine's clean now. And the engine that was in here, which I pulled out, he's actually coming to get today. So the engine that he's going to be getting today is cleaner than this one because that's what was in it. This stuff really does work good. It quiets lifters. So like if you have a loud Chevy lifter tick problem that Fords and Chevys often have, you pour that in, it goes right away.
And it feels great with turbo cars. Our Accord is turboed, and it just, like I said, I don't understand it. The company is the ones that make them. But they're great. Everything's so much smoother. Yeah, and I know you're gonna share that other actual original video.
Yes, that will be linked in the description.
And you'll see most of them. The other additives, they're not even passing 20.
Yeah, they're not. And that's the same machine that we have here, by the way. So yeah, you will see that video if you want to. It'll be in the description. This video is to educate. It's not to talk bad on companies or say this is better or that's better. The fact remains, the results speak for themselves. The original Bestline is best. If you want the best, go with the original. But yeah, that's basically it for this video. I just wanted to get you this video out and let you guys know that there are some real good products out there. So don't always just jump on one and say this is the one I'm sticking with. I've used Lucas for years. I've used all these other products for years. Lucas was actually one of my favorites, and I found out that it doesn't have much film strength as far as lubricity tests go, and I was really disappointing. So now the only thing I use is the Bestline / Brahman Lube. We'll have it linked in the description with a discount code to save you guys some money. But that's basically it for this video. I'm gonna go ahead and get off here, but before I do, I always just want to say this. Jesus died and rose again in 3 days for you and I. And all you have to do is repent and trust in him, and you'll be saved. It's really that simple. Everyone's getting so religious about it and overcomplicating it. This and that has to be this and that. Seek first the kingdom, and the rest will be added. But that's basically it. I'm gonna go ahead and get off here, and always remember this.
Jesus loves you.